Hey, this is René, welcome back to another video on this channel, and today I want to have a closer look at the dark point indicator for MetaTrader 5. So this was requested in some YouTube comment a while ago, and now I heard about this indicator some more times, so I thought I will have a look at it. So this is a free indicator. You can find it in the mql5 store, and you can download it for free for your MetaTrader. And this indicator looks like this if you attach it to the chart. And as you can see here, it gives signals, for example, these green signals or red signals for buy and sell. And then there are also stop loss level and take profit level. And the most important thing is in the upper right corner, you can see there is always information with the total signals and the win percentage. And this win percentage is like really good. It's usually far above 50%. In this case, right now, it is, for example, 79%. And this looks pretty much too good to be true. So we will have a closer look. We'll write a program that will trade the indicator signals. So we are able to backtest it for 1 year or 10 years or whatever you like in every market, in every time frame. So let's write the program real quick. This will be really easy because we are just using this indicator here. And yes, we will click on IDE because like in MetaTrader 5, if you click on IDE, it will open the MetaQuotes language editor. And in the meta editor, we will create a new file by clicking in the upper left corner. We click on New. Then we click on Next because we want to create an expert advisor, and we say dark point strategy. You can choose whatever name you like pretty much. Click on next, and finish. And this will create a new expert advisor template. Let's delete the unnecessary lines here. And then your code should look a little bit like this. So we only need this on init, the on deinit and the on tick function. Okay, so first of all, we will have a look at the inputs of this indicator because we will need them for the iCustom function that we will use. So let me put the inputs here on the right side. And then I will open the code and put it here on the left side of the screen. Because now we will go here and create a global variable for the handle of this dark point indicator. And then in the onInit function, we will initialize this variable. So we will say handle dark point, and then we will use the return value of this iCustom function that we always use if we are working with custom indicators, like this dark point indicator. So now what we have to do is we will now have to list all of these parameters pretty much here. So first of all, we will have to give the name or a path to the indicator file. And since this file is in the market folder, you should write something like this, market and then dark point.ex5, because this is always starting in the data folder for the indicators. And if you look here, indicators, here you will find this market folder, and then we will find this dark point MT5.ex5. So the name has to be exactly like this pretty much. So dark space point space MT5.ex5. And before this, the market folder like this. And then we will have to add these variables here in the order they are listed here. So first of all, this is just a string information. This is not relevant for us. Then the object prefix, we can leave it as it is here, dp underscore. Then we have dark point period, and these are the values that can be changed. So if you're working on this strategy, you might change some of these values. You could also make them input variables if you like. And then the sensitivity multiplier is 1.0. And then we have, again, this is just an empty parameter because this is a spacer pretty much in the inputs of this indicator. Then we have the periods, which is here 14. Then we have a spacer again. And now we have, so the next settings, they are the multiplier for the TP and SL level. So we can say if we want to use TP1, TP2, TP3, and SL1, SL2, SL3. And these levels are calculated pretty much using the ATR indicator, and then it's a multiple of the ATR indicator value. So yeah, we can add all of them here. Or what we can also do is, we can just list them here pretty much. So we can say we want to use TP1, value is 0.8, want to use TP2, it's 1.6, we want to use TP3, 3.2, SL1 is 1.6, SL2, 3.2, and SL3 is turned off by default, but we could also turn it on. And then again, there's a spacer, and we want to show these TP and SL lines. And there are more settings, but we do not have to list all of them because we can just end this list here. And then for the rest, it will use the default values. So this is what we listed here now. So we use this iCustom function. We say we want to calculate it for the current chart symbol, for the current chart period. And then we add this path to the indicator file here. And then starting from here, this is just the list of the indicator that you will find if you go to the indicator settings. And it is really important that you keep this order. So you always start with this input, then you have this, you have this, you have this. And by seeing the, before the variable name, there's always like a sign. Here it says AB. This means it's a text input, a string. This 01 means it's a integer value. This 1 divided by 2 is, it means that it is a double value. This is always the type pretty much. And this is either true or false. This is a Boolean value. So since we listed all of them now, we can compile this, and we now have this handle initialized, and we can now use it in the onTick function to get the dark point values. So we say dark point by and dark point cell. So we want both of these signals in different arrays. So what we can do now is we can use the copy buffer function. We can use this handle here. Then we say the buffer number, and this is important. We can get the buffer number. So you should open the data window for this. You can see it by clicking on view data window. And if you then use your mouse pretty much and go over the point in the chart where it's a signal, you can see the value in the data window here is displayed. So you can see here, these are all the different buffers pretty much of this indicator. And you can see the first two are empty. So they are they have there's a indexing scheme. It starts at 0. This is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2. So you can see whenever there's a by signal, index 2 has a value. And when there is a cell signal, index 3 has a value. And this makes sense because the name of these are by and cell. So index 2 is for by and 3 is for cell signals. So what we can do here is for our copy buffer function, we can say buffer number 2 is for by. So we start at the last bar, we want one value, and we store the values in the dp by array. Then we do the same thing for the dp cell array. We only have to change this index. So it's index 3 instead of 2. So now just to make sure that we only check this once per bar, we create another variable which is named bars total. And now in the onTick function, we can always check if there's a new bar. We could also initialize the bars total variable with the return value of the ibars function. And now we, in the onTick function, we get the amount of bars in the current chart with every tick and store it in another variable which is called bars, or however you like to call it. And remember, this onTick function is called for every single tick in the chart where the expert advisor is attached to. And now we can check if the bars total variable is different than this bars variable. And in this case, we update the bars total variable here. So once we check if there's a new bar, then we check for the signal. And now all we have to do is to check if the dp by value in this array, if it is not empty. Because in this case, there should be a by signal. And then we check, on the other hand, if there's a cell signal. So if this dp cell array has a value. And then we can print something like new by signal. And here we print something like new cell signal. So this is our code right now. It is really short, it's really easy. We just create this handle as a global variable. We initialize it here in the onTick function, onInit function, sorry. This is the function that is called whenever the program is activated. So we know what specific indicator we want. And then in the onTick function, we just get the values and we check if there's a by or cell signal. Okay guys, big problem. I had to make a cut in the video recording, then I recorded the rest of the EA programming, and somehow my recording program crashed. I wasn't able to save it. Okay, long story short, I do not have the rest of the program recording, and I hate doing things twice, so I will just take the complete code that I wrote and explain it to you, but I will not write it like in real time. So you can just copy it from here. Maybe I will even post it in the comments and you can make your own testing. But first of all, let me explain the code. So some of the things I added after the crash was I included the trade.mqh file because we will need this for opening positions. We do this in pretty much every tutorial on this channel. Then I create a object variable of type cTrade and I name it trade. The onInit function did not change at all, but if you want to show like the third SL level, you have to make this true. So first of all, we said this is false because this is like the default value in the indicator, but you can make it true, so it will display all of these 3 levels. This is important later on for calculating the SLs. Then let's go to the onTick function. This piece of code was like this before the crash, and then here I made a change because I just realized that there is not only like one type of signals. This, what I showed you in the data window, you can see it is index 2 here, but there are also these signals that do not have this little star around the point. And these are at a buffer number 0 and 1. So by signals are at 0, cell signals are at 1. This is why I added, I just multiplied pretty much the amount of arrays here. So we have dp by now, dp cell, and dp by star and dp cell star. And by and cell, of course, have index 0 and 1 for the buffers. And star by has 2 and star cell has 3. So these without a star, 0 and 1. These 2 and 3. And you can, of course, take this from the data window. Then, we, of course, have to call the copy buffer functions 4 times for every index. And then we check if either this there's a buy signal without this star or if there's a buy signal with a star. And there's another change that I made. First, before this video crash, I said this has to be unequal empty value, but this is not correct because the default value in this indicator is 0. Pretty much. So we will have to check if this value is greater than 0. And yeah, so you just write it like this. Then we have a buy signal. And this is pretty much the same for the sell signal. We just check if the DP sell or DP sell star arrays have a value at index 0. Then there's the position opening, and this is like the big block that I added after the video crash. So first of all, we want to open a position if there's a signal here. In this case, we calculate the entry price, which is for a buy market position, the current ask price. So we get this ask price using the symbol info double function, and then here we just round it. This is always a good idea if you work with prices, so there is no rounding issue. And then for the TP, we could calculate the TP like in points or as a ATR multiple as it is done in the indicator. But since the indicator gives us these lines in the chart, we can just read it from the objects. Because if we have a look at these, in the object list, you can see it by right-clicking a chart, then you click object list. If you list all, you can see all of these levels. For example, this SL line, they always are displayed as a trend line object in the chart. And you can see the levels always have the same name. It's always DP underscore SL, or TP of course, underscore line, and then underscore, and then there's 1, 2, 3 for line 1, 2, 3. And then this really big number in the end is just the timestamp of the bar where the signal appeared. So we took this code pretty much for naming these lines and put it here. So we say object get double. In the current chart, which is chart ID 0, we want to find an object with this name. And the name is, as I just told you, DP underscore TP underscore line underscore 1 or 2 or 3 if you want to take TP level 1, 2 or 3. So you just say 2 for the second TP level or 3 for the third, or 1 for the first level. And yeah, make sure to write everything like this. So DP is with capital letters, TP also, and line only has the L with a capital letter, and the rest is in lowercase letters. And then you add the timestamp of the bar where the signal appeared. And you can get it using the iTime function, and you should transfer this to a integer value so it looks like this really big number at the end of the name. And then we say in the end that we want the object price of this line. So this will be stored in this TP variable, then we will round it. And for SL, we do exactly the same. DP underscore SL underscore line underscore 1 or 2 or 3, and then the timestamp of the bar. And then we round it, and then we check if we were able to receive these values. So if we found something using this name here, and in this case, if everything was found correctly, we can open a buy position with 0.1 lots or whatever you like to choose for the current symbol at the ask price with these SL and TP levels. And for the sell signal, it is completely the same. Everything is pretty much the same with one difference. We open at the bid price, and of course, here we open a sell position at the bid price. SL and TP calculation is completely the same. So if we compile this program, and if we have a look at the strategy tester and run it here, you can see this is working. So this is what you can do then in your own MetaTrader, in your own strategy tester. You can, just go ahead and test several settings for the indicator, or just test several time frames, several symbols. So we can see now there is, for example, this buy signal. So you can see position is opened at the current ask price, TP is at this level, SL is at this level, and then we'll just wait if one of these levels is hit. And for SL signals, it is the same. Everything is working as it should. And this is it pretty much. So you can now test this in different charts, different time frames. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about this indicator. Did you work with this indicator before? Do you know it? Maybe you did some manual trades, like seeing the signals and then trading. And maybe you can also use this automated program because it will make your life easier. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Do you think that you can achieve such a high win rate, and is it really working? Yeah, just let me know. And in the end, as always, I hope that you have a great time. I wish you all the best and good trades, and we will see each other in the next video. Until then, have a great time. Bye.